Very nice. We got live. Get going. Very good. I have 1,000 followers, but why can't I go live on Instagram? Let me see. Public account, huh? Alrighty, we'll be trading Power Hour today on March. We had Donald Trump speaking today. It did push markets up. Now, I got a rule for trading markets during news days. We try to stay away from it. That gives us the best opportunity to make money without a doubt. Share with everybody. go. That's so weird. Instagram needs to fix their stuff. Okay. Anyways, doesn't matter. We are live. We are doing our trading today, and that is that. So what we got in front of us, everybody, is MNQ. We had a huge buyback after Sell the News event on Sunday. Markets came down about 600 points from that Sunday open. Now, did we move down because of the Iran news? Some would say yes, we did. We teetered, and then when we fell from this level, this range that I had set on Friday to trade, we pushed down about 350 points from that position. That would have given us a very, very nice entry and exit on MNQ on a Sunday trade. Where the markets often become difficult to trade is understanding when to sit on the side and when to actually take trades inside of the market. Now, with that information, most people would not have known that the markets were going to go bearish. Professional traders, people with skilled mindsets that have a defined edge inside of these markets, understand one thing and one thing only. I stay calm throughout these times. I trade what the charts are teaching me, right? They're showing me a picture perfect story. I have to know the story by heart. When I understand what the markets and price action is telling me, with a calm mindset, I then enter trades to make money. Today was a good day, right? I did not wake up early today. I did not do a live stream early because my head was like I had the worst migraine possible. It was so bad. So my ideology in life, especially in trading, is if my mind, my body is not feeling correct, then I refrain from going and taking trades, because it's like a pendulum, right? When you push something, right? What can I do with set an example with this, right? Here. This is the perfect example, right? When I want something and I'm pulling it closer to my body like this, what's going to end up happening? It swings away, right? So I wanted to make a trade this morning, but I wasn't feeling healthy, right? So if something would have slipped, what I wanted would have slipped away from me too, going that way, right? And granted, that's a very like rudimentary thing. Like you can see it with this. What are you doing, Ron? With scissors? LOL. You can see it in many forms and ways of understanding the market in relative terms of a push and pull exercise. With what I want, if I pull it too hard, what's going to end up happening is the harder that I push, or the harder that I pull something towards me, the more resistance it's creating, and that will create a swing backwards, right? Look, when I pull something towards myself, it swings away from me. Such is life in physics. Understanding physics, we then know that momentum is only going to be in my favor when I'm strong, healthy in body, healthy in mind, and I'm willing to hold this as long as it takes for me to make something of it, make something of the opportunity, right? I don't want swinging. I just want something pulled long enough to where I can take my opportunity, and my opportunity becomes a good shot of a good shot and opportunity to win, right? Okay. So with that being said, the markets today, they gave us an opportunity. Now, I had talked with a bunch of my friends, right? And I said, the opportunity is going to be in crypto over the weekend. I sent out some signals, not in the form of Discord, but in conversation with my friends, saying that the best time to buy crypto is now. Start dollar cost averaging your positions, right? Take small amounts of money, right? And I'm going to explain this to you guys visually while we wait for a setup here. What I'm waiting for here is to see if we have continuation over the 25.97 mark. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up something on the left screen. We're going to talk about something while we wait. And I'll set my alerts as well. I want either a pullback down here or I want a crossing up here. Those will be my entry and exit. Markets are favoring longs right now, without a doubt. No, there's no reason for me to go short here. This is a knock boom setup, okay, in the markets. A knock boom setup is a test 1 of resistance, a test 2 of resistance. So now we're going to get the boom candle where it's going to explode out of here. If it rejects, then it will be a knock no. Okay, this is something that they teach in my mentorships. I'm teaching it to you guys because it's something that you can use with immense value in understanding and how to trade markets in the stock market. You can use it at any market, actually. Forex, crypto, stock market, it doesn't matter. So let's bump over to another screen, right? And let's talk about a J-curve model, right? J-curves are very simple. Excuse my very, very bad handwriting, okay? So J-curves are very, very simple. Essentially what a J-curve is a model that looks something like this. Text, time, no, investment, Can I move that, please? I guess not. Investment over time. Okay. Now, what makes this a very simple graph, right, is this is boom, 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 boom. Sorry for my horrible drawings. 2, 3, 4. I'll try to make this one a little better. Okay. Over a period of time, my investment should go up, right? In an investment, let's say that this is 0. Anything below this is negative. On a J-curve model, right? Actually, let's back up. Let's back up just a bit. Let's say this here is 0. Okay? Baby, give me a second. I'm doing a live video. I'll call you back. Okay. So let's say that this is 0, right? On a J-curve model setup, right, 0 would essentially be your first initial investment. Now, when investing in cryptocurrencies, the stock market, a J-curve model is what most hedge funds use in the markets. So they invest in something and they don't have the expectation that stocks are going to go up at immediately, right? Whenever you have an investment in the market, the first thing that ends up happening is you go red. And the reason it goes red is because J curves happen something like this. Boom, 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 right? And what J curves do is essentially over a period of time, you will incur a loss, which will be below this line, right? What's going to save your account is time in the market. So when I sent out this investment advice to my friends saying that it's time to buy some crypto right now, I told them the best thing you can do is use a J-curve model. Dollar cost average your position in the period of the first investment over a period of time so that the J-curve model can do its work and let time be your ally and your best friend inside of the market. All right, guys, so we have now an entry on MNQ. Okay, so let's take a look back at the center screen. I'm going to turn this screen off. What did we wait for very patiently here? We waited for the market to present us an opportunity. I said wait patiently. Now look what the story is telling us on the 5-minute. Okay, let's drag that down. 5 minutes now touching the 50 EMA. We're still trading very far off from the VWAP. However, if we look, there's a trend line without a doubt that's coming from here all the way over, right? We're not quite at that trend line on the 2-minute. Maybe I wait until the break and the test of that to see if the 2-minute is going to continue, but we can see the volume dying out on the chart. We're now below the 50 EMA. We're touching the 20 EMA on the 15-minute window. Right? You see what I'm saying? The overall momentum in the market, and this is why Power Hour on a Monday is so fun to trade, is I don't need to make a trade here. I'm already $170 on my account up for the day. So what I'll do to protect my equity, I usually trade 3 contracts. I'm just going to size down. I don't need to make more than what I've made today. $170 is really good money for anybody that's looking to make a 6-figure income inside of trading, right? So now that the opportunity is presenting itself, we're now at that trend line. I'm willing to take the risk. I'm going to go long here because it's along the trend line. I'm going to have a short close below this trend line on the 2-minute, and that is going to tell me whether or not trend is going to continue going up, even though the red candle is coming down, right? I size down into my position, and I could essentially buy more contracts here if we push down further, but I'm just playing the waters. I'm testing the waters out to see if trend is going to continue on this line, okay? This doesn't look good because ultimately what I'm going against is I'm going against trend here. This is what we call a reversal trade. If on the next 53 seconds in the market, if we don't get a close here above my level, right, that I entered in, which it doesn't look like it's doing it, I simply just exit the trade for a paper cut loss. I size down because this would have been a $120 loss right now with 3 contracts, right? I'm calm, I'm cool. I made money for this morning. I'm willing to put a little bit more money in the market. Look, that was my stop loss filled at $50 for right now, okay? I'm pretty confident that this is going to find a balance right here and push back up, although my stop loss was at 25 points. So I wasn't willing to lose anything more than the 25 points that I put inside of the market. We're already seeing that volume is starting to come back inside of the market. You see now it's pushing back up against that trend line. There's that first green candle. So I walked you guys through that. Unfortunately, my stop loss took me out. What do I do next? Well, I'm going to stay calm. I'm not going to go ahead and lose more money inside of the markets because I think that I'm right. This could very easily push back down and push it all the way down to the VWAP as easy as it just got me out of my position going short. So relax. Don't do anything too hastily, right? I already took a bad trade where I was going against the market. I was going against trend. The overall trend for the day is green. It's bullish. But now you start to see we're breaking down against that 20. So if we're breaking against the 20, the thing that I can say right now to save our accounts is don't take a trade that would essentially be long. Wait for the confirmation that we would be coming back above the 50 EMA on the 5-minute and a close above this trend line, and then maybe we can make a very short scalp trade to recuperate some of the losses that we just had in that last trade. Remember, I only traded one contract, so realistically a $50 loss to me was not that important. However, it does hurt because I didn't really work that hard for the 50 bucks. Who am I kidding? I worked maybe like 20-30 minutes today for 170 bucks. Which is pretty good for me. So I'll still take the 120 for the day. I'm not interested nor wanting to be putting the money back into the markets today. So let's just be cognizant and let the markets give it its grace. Right now the markets are looking like they are turning down rather than turning up. Being patient, right? Because now we're in between levels. We're just below the 24,998 level. We're now battling the EMA, the 20 EMA, which is a very important EMA on the 15-minute. We're below all of our EMAs on the 5. We're below the 9 EMA on the 2. So this is signifying a very divided chart here, right? 1, we have an overall bullish trend for the day. 1, we have on the smaller micro time frames, we have a bearish sentiment inside of the market. So if that's what the story is telling us, divided, then what do? Well, it's simple. We just go back to the tech stocks. Okay, what are the tech stocks telling us right now? Apple looks like it's coming down after coming up today. Looks like it's kind of teetering out here. Amazon's also teetering out. AVGO is trading flat. Google is trading flat. Meta is trading flat after all of those gains today. Will it give back all of those gains? Well, that's what we're asking. Microsoft, same situation. It looks like everything that was going up today is now going sideways, and if not sideways, it's going down. So that's another factor that we need to draw inside of the market. Look back at the other chart. Now we've broken underneath that trend line. So it's giving me a better expectation that we're most likely not going to be buying back the dip here. It's going to continue to go down to the VWAP. The reason being is that we had now one close that's going to be closing underneath the trend, right? So we were trying to get that reversal here. You see on this line, we would have gotten a good reversal here, a good reversal here. And the last point of the reversal would have been here. This would have been a 3 touch, but what's not going to be happening inside of the markets is what we expect to happen every single time. I could be wrong. The markets could reverse here and it could go back up above that trend line like it's doing right now. But overall, the trend inside of the market is very simple. Sorry. Okay, so now what's going on here, right? We had that break, we had that retest. I did say just don't bother trading this, but the overall trend on the higher time frames, which we have to trust the higher time frames, is bullish, but the volatility, it whacked us out, right? So at 240, we had a 40-point move down. That's pretty harsh inside of the markets. That's why I set my take profit to 25 points instead of 50 points, because realistically I didn't want to give back all of my gains inside of the market. I'm still having the expectation that I'm going to make an awesome trade here. We're now pushing back above that level, but what I don't like inside of the markets is we made a higher high here, or a lower high here, a higher high, and now we're coming back down underneath these EMAs and battling these 2 points inside of the market. That's wildly volatile. There's not a lot of confidence inside of the market that's giving me a opportunity to make solid money here, because even the tech stocks isn't giving us a solid review right now of what M&Q is going to do. We would want confluence inside of the market. That means that 6 out of the 8 tech stocks are working towards each other or working towards a common goal that ultimately is going to help us net some money. But that's not the case right now, because tech stocks are divided. Some are coming up, some are trading sideways, some are coming down. That's not great for any sort of money market maker to take an opportunity here. I like that it's coming back above the EMAs. I like that the close right now on this 5-minute candle is above the 50. That's nice. But then again, what did we just talk about 10 minutes ago inside of the market, right? I got into a trade. I got underneath the EMAs. It was looking really good to get a reversal trade. What just happened now is what I expected it to happen a few minutes ago, and that's why I lost out on my money. So I have to know, as a trader, maybe it's best for me to just, like I said, stay out of the markets right now. It doesn't guarantee that in the last hour of this market that I'm going to be making money. I just want to walk myself through what's happening so that I can see on the charts if the opportunity arises to take a trade. Okay? Realistically, what I would be wanting now is I would be wanting to see if I could take a short underneath that level very quickly to make some money, and then we'll close the charts for the day, and I'm going to go on with about my day. I got a lot of other things I got to do. Excuse me. It's tough, dude. It's squeezing here. Real tough. I'm interested in seeing some other markets right now. Not 100% sure I'm going to trade anything else, but I want to see how gold's doing. Okay. Crazy. Silver's going all over the place. Bitcoin's now at 69. Yo.
Hello. Hey, why do you
I thought support and resistances don't work. Yeah, all right, but I mean, look at how that trend line just is now the set found support for this coin right, or for the MNQ right now. Did I make that up? Hell no, I didn't make that up. This is what trading is about. It's about knowing exactly where to invest, why to invest, where the where where to invest inside of the markets, and it's really just that simple, right? I didn't make up anything inside of the markets. I said that there's going to be a trend line here because of how many times it touches. Look at the overall trend on the 2 minute. Since 9 a.m. we've been just trending up, coming back down, trending up. Now you wouldn't have been able to get this trend line until now, until that 3 4 p.m. candle, right? Right, Brian's trying to suffocate me with carbon monoxide poisoning. All right, guys. I'm sorry. My neighbor is here. He's gonna help me out with some stuff. I don't really think I'm gonna see another trade here, and if it does happen, it's gonna happen quick in the next 30 minutes. It's gonna push to the downside here because of this higher low that we've made on the 15 minutes. So, just to reiterate and just to put in what's going to happen inside of the market, if trend does not follow through underneath this line, which it's not doing right now, then shorts inside of the market are most likely what's going to happen. If we fight our way back to this 25,000 level, then I would be pushing back into the longs inside of the market, ultimately giving us a really good position to carry out and ride out the trend. Remember, we're doing that knock knock boom right now or I'm sorry, that knock knock boom was then was rejected up here, excuse me, and it's now pushed down about 100 points. So I would imagine that, here's my final thesis. I would imagine that we're going to have continuation inside of the market that's going to be pointing down because of what happened at that 3 p.m. candle. We had a solid rejection. It could reverse and come back up, but my thesis and my bias is going to be we are going to continue down to the VWAP by the end of the day. Okay? That's my trade that's going to be put in. I'll go ahead and put in an alert here to see if we can try to capture a trade here. I will go short if we break the 24,950 level. If we can break the 24,950 level, if we can break back above the 25,000 level, then I'll go long. Okay? I'll see you guys later. Let me set this a little bit easier for you guys to see. Horizontal ray. Right here. And right here. Watch for these two levels here, okay? Set your alerts. That's it.